to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulation.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. You excited? I believe it's Biggie History Day today. Easus.
Yeah, sure.
Are you ready to go? We gonna learn something? Are we gonna get our learn on today?
Yeah, sure.
I'm a visual learner, E, so hopefully
there may or may not actually be some video today.
Oh, well,
Whoa.
that's great.
Wow, we're taking it to a new level today, huh, Easus?
Maybe.
Not the normal PowerPoint and laser pointer, huh? That's
Yeah.
good. Okay.
Very good. Welcome, everybody. A lot going on. Thank you, Jay and Gary, for ruining my morning.
What?
Yeah, anytime I see a text string that includes you and Gary, the dead body expert, I know it's not going to be good on some level. You know what I mean? It turns out that Gary has dealt with what I am, which is the initial steps of a sleep study.
Yeah.
And I tried to play it off yesterday like, oh, yeah, they've gotten – it's no big deal.
It's just like a mouth guard.
Dude, it's just like, yeah, it's like a mouth guard you wear in football now.
Conspicuous device.
Instead of what we all know as the
conspicuous
helmet,
device.
Yeah, the helmet gear that will wake up your neighbors as you do your best Darth Vader impression.
Dude, I binged the mouth guard version of this, and it still has this massive hose that goes like up your nose. You know,
Dude,
there's shit going into your nose, and then it goes above the bridge of your nose, up your forehead, over the back of your head. It's like it's absurd what you have to sleep with.
Yeah. Well, they didn't say that. You know,
it's just a mouth guard. No problem.
He was like, oh man, these are no big deal now. I mean, they've gotten these tiny little things that you barely notice on your face. They've even got stuff like this tiny little mouth guard that goes in your mouth, and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, CPAP device, huh? These things are fucking outstanding.
And all Jay could do was laugh because Gary was sending pictures over of him going, yeah, here's your next step, Mike. After you get through the initial one you're about to go through, here's step 2. And it's him with like
electrodes all
over
his
his head, and his whole chest is wrapped. He's got what appears to be a full-size laptop anchored to his belt.
Right.
And Jay's just like, you're supposed to sleep in that. He's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, I think I'd rather just stop breathing in the middle of the night than continue to wear it. Yeah, dude, that does not count as a fucking mouth guard.
No, it doesn't. That's exactly what I saw. Use this good find. And yeah, that doesn't look good, man. It doesn't look human.
I mean, it's better than this. Just a second.
Yeah, the Lord Vader setup.
Right.
There are worse, like Carol in Last Man on Earth.
Oh,
yeah,
boy. I mean, what do you do with
spaceman
that?
shit. That's
like,
spaceman.
Yeah, that's like, oh, when are you leaving for Mars? Like, what are you supposed to do at 2 in the morning? You wake up and you rock and you got a fucking, your girl's sitting there. You can't just roll over. Like, now you got to undo yourself, right?
Yeah.
You've got to get out of your whatever chamber you're in. Ugh, it's just doesn't.
Tough.
Yeah.
You'll get used to it.
I don't think I will, man. I hope to God just losing weight is enough because I know that people losing weight, they're
The
breathing.
girth in the neck. It's the thick neck.
How's my neck girth doing nowadays?
It's fine.
That wasn't a good
it's
answer.
Fine. I don't know what is it smaller than it was 2 weeks ago? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, I'm asking you that. If you
It
notice,
fits through a standard T-shirt hole.
yes, I don't have to be like the terrorist. Get the
Right, the wide.
the oversized neck, dude. I'm just looking more and more at this thing, and I'm just like, Jay's gonna laugh at me every day for the rest of time. I don't want to deal with
see
that.
you in this. So.
I know, but every chance you get.
Because what struck me is, holy shit, Gary the Dead Body Expert sleeps with one of those. I wonder how many other people do. In fact, I do know a few people with them. So, dude, nobody's even going to know. I mean, you're going to sleep with it. Who sees you sleeping?
Mm-hmm. My mom asked me, well, is your breathing getting better so far since you started losing weight? I'm like, I don't know. I'm asleep. How the hell would I know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how the hell am I supposed to answer that question?
Well, are you less fitful?
I don't know that I'm less fitful. I have been tired, but that could be meds. It could be a lot of things. So I don't know, dude. But waking up to those texts, I was just like, oh, man, it still stinks. I don't want to do that.
That was like real life application with Gary the Dead
seeing the
Body
photos.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing. Ugh.
Yeah, it's
Boy,
bad,
boy.
man.
Yeah, it's not good.
Hammond Pubs, they're inviting you, gentlemen, to their 5 Metro Detroit locations. Come enjoy their great food, their drinks, their atmosphere. Everybody do so. Whether you're watching the game with your buddies, out for a meal with the family, or out for an evening with your girl, it's always a great time at their Rochester, Clarkston, Chesterfield, and 2 Shelby Township locations. And by the way, gentlemen, we've drawn a winner of our Eat and Drink at Hamlin contest, and it's none other than listener named Jim Heater.
Jim Heater, okay.
I've sent
Congratulations, Jim.
James an email indicating that he has won 4 really good tickets to Tiger game June 9th against the Indians. That's Feather Not Dot, along with a sweet parking pass and everything. So congrats, Jim. Thanks, everybody, for playing along.
Yes.
Thanks for going out to Hamlin. Continue to do that.
Yes, it's very, very helpful to us. As you know, don't slow down.
That's what makes this world go around, Mike.
Yeah. I know we come off as like high rollers and really
we
successful
tend to
kind of
exude
guys.
that kind of
you
thing.
know, you would think, oh yeah, what, Jay's weekend Porsche isn't enough. He needs more. You know, but the truth of the matter is, we still struggle on a day-to-day basis. So it's very, very helpful that you use Merck and go to Zott Ford and say hi to Gabara and the team.
It's not just helpful; it's vital.
It's vital.
If that doesn't happen, we don't have sponsors. We don't have a show.
Yeah. So use Mike Lindell and MyPillow and the Amazon link, and don't forget about any of our great sponsors that have been with us for a long, long time, and we as always appreciate them because we don't want the show going anywhere either. Especially when it's starting to take off like it is, Jay.
Really is.
I don't know if you've noticed.
Kind of hitting stride.
You know,
we're all here in the same room twice in a row.
Twice in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've noticed, but we've put a few videos out there, and you know, there's one in particular. Like we try to make sense of it because sometimes it's like, that's a really funny clip right there, and it's got 2,000 views, and you're like, why? And then something like Linda Thompson, like the Elvis thing, like anything Elvis related, it's like,
oh man, that
it
video,
shoots off.
It's got a lot of hits.
It gets a lot of hits, and then randomly for some reason, we'll post something that we think is funny for whatever reason, and it goes.
I would argue that this one that you're about to reference is not random. It is perfectly titled, and you cannot deny yourself a click on this video if you see this title.
What is the title? I don't even know.
Kid gets boner after solving Rubik's Cube.
I wonder if people remember this discussion, because we posted like 2.5 minutes of our discussion and us watching the video, because when he solves the Rubik's Cube, and I believe he sets a record at the time, which is why it was newsworthy.
It's amazing
Yeah.
what this kid does. And then it's also amazing that he has a boner afterwards.
Right.
Plain and simple. I stand by that.
I do too. He hops up like he's excited because he just won the Rubik's Cube. You know, he solved the puzzle and throws the thing down, and he immediately jumps up. And as we're watching the video, it was just like, I can't remember who in the room went, wait, is that kid rock right now? And it was like, oh my God, he's got a huge boner. And
Yeah.
so, you know, all of a sudden this video was like, E came up to me the other day and was like, dude, that video is at like 50,000 views. I was like, really? And then today he comes in and he goes, dude, we're closing in on 100,000 views on this video. So this thing has made its way into recommended spaces. And so now it's starting to go around.
And like I said, with a title like that, how do you not click on that? Like, kid gets boner after solving the Rubik's Cube. I mean, everybody.
I know, it's perfect.
The Rubik's Cube is
Who
amazing
titled that?
enough.
Is this your work, Jay?
Probably.
I mean, just having the balls to put kid and boner in the same sentence with our name attached to it. I mean, it's a balls move.
You're welcome.
But dude, you're right. If I saw that title, kid gets boner
You'd
after
have
solving
to
Rubik's
click
Cube.
on that shit.
If this was
can't
not
not
our
click on
show, like if
You
we
click
just
on
saw
that?
this, we would play it on
Yes.
our own show.
Oh.
Yes.
We would play this video on our show. Like,
And then we go, look at these grown men laughing about a kid getting a boner. What the hell?
Well, that's the thing. You know, when you're going to do risque coverage of anything, you run the risk of meeting people that aren't really happy. And dude, I've hated this one for, how old are you? Look at
Yeah.
these grown adults talking. It's like, what? You think I hit a certain age and all of a sudden I shut off my humor line?
Right,
I can't
farts
find.
aren't funny anymore.
Yeah, kid boners aren't fun. Well, that's a bad sentence to say. But boners aren't funny anymore. Boners, I assume, are going to be funny to me when I'm, you know.
I would, yeah.
Whatever
unless
age, I
something
mean-
crazy happens, yeah, I would assume so.
I mean, right? I feel like I find the same stuff funny now that I did when I was
Yes.
15.
I would agree with you.
Do you? Okay,
Yes.
good. That's important. So we are always going to find this stuff funny. But wow, adult men talking about some kid's boner. That's a cool topic.
Hey, you clicked on it, fucker.
Yeah.
And you watched it.
and then you commented.
yeah.
Dude, great point. We didn't know the kid had a boner.
It is, and it's clearly titled. You have been forewarned, sir.
Yeah.
So you clicked on it, watched adult men laughing about said boner, and then, as he says, you took the time to comment. So fuck off.
It's not like Cincy Cuber that we went and posted this. wow, amazing video as kid solves Rubik's Cube in record
you won't
time.
believe this. Check it out. Yeah.
And then we walked you into a fucking huge kid boner discussion.
No. Up front. Kid
dude.
gets boner after solving the Rubik's Cube.
Yes. Can't believe they are talking shit to a kid clearly smarter than them, and they call him a nerd. At least he could get a better. At least he could get a better future. I don't know if that's a.
He could get a better future.
Better future than us, I guess.
But that's a terrible. Like he's trying to call us stupid.
Yeah.
Right?
At least with a lowercase a.
Only one space after the previous sentence ended.
At least he could get a better future. Period. Being lowercase b, a nerd is a good thing.
Period.
A nerd gets better education, so he would have a better future. Okay. Well reasoned, sir.
Yeah. And I'm sorry.
don't
What's
think
wrong
the
with
nerd-
calling someone a nerd
I know,
anyways?
man.
The nerd isn't even
I wish
the
I was a
whole
nerd.
main thing of this. The main thing is the boner, not the nerd.
This is all about
Great
the
point.
boners.
Great point. This guy's missing the entire point of this video and discussion. It's
Well-
the boner, man.
In his defense, you do at one point early on in the video, Jay, kind of half off my mic go, nerds! Nerds!
True.
So in his defense, he was met with that
I haven't
scream.
watched it in a while, so I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, and I believe the nerd thing comes up numerous times. Remember the girl at the end who's like, "Hi
Yep.
YouTube,
Yes.
hi
Yes.
YouTube," and we're like,
Yes.
"Nerd." I love nerds. You know, so before you go blasting us on your comments, keep scrolling through them as Jay's
He's
reading.
going, notice he pushes his crotch up against the chair as to accentuate the boner. All that moment he needed everyone.
At that moment.
At that moment he needed everyone to witness his rager. And
would agree.
other people, assholes.
Assholes, what the fuck?
And another person, I'm laughing with them. A boner would be more
Slow down.
protrusive. He's just packing.
Oh, so someone's got a different take on this. Kid's just absolutely hung, just mushed in there. as
Someone
much as
does
he
say
can.
that at some point. I think someone's comment was just hung
Yeah.
as a full comment.
Not a boner, just commando. So someone's saying that he's wearing sweatpants with no underwear, and that's what we're seeing.
You guys are being so rude. Next one. That's so huge. What the fuck? Lots
like-
of what the fucks.
I like Charlie Mann. Who else got a boner from this video? I did. Yeah. Let's see here. This reminds me.
Don't call cubers nerds. It's just offensive. Just because we can solve cubes, that doesn't mean we are smart. Who's with me?
And then there gets into it at one point. I don't know. It's one of those that has like view all 20 replies.
Oh,
and you
really?
know people are now
All these
getting into an
cubers.
argument.
Oh, yeah.
And cubers are getting into a thing about whether they're really smart or they've just learned the puzzle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Which
so
is a fair, I think that could be a fair argument, whether you've really just learned one fucking thing really, really well.
Well, the dexterity is impressive too. I mean,
yeah.
they're twisting that fucker at a high rate of speed.
I like this one. Why was this recommended to me?
Yeah, that speaks more to issues that you have than anything
Google
we've
knows
done.
what you like, man.
Yeah.
What do you
Boner kid.
Google knows when I've looked at a new pair of shoes, and that's all I see for the next month on the side of my thing. What are you doing, sir or madam, that kid gets boner is something recommend? Well, it's clearly you'll like this video.
That is troubling to say the least.
Yeah.
It looks like this is, I mean, like you said, there's more that go into some replies, but this is, I think, as far down as it goes here.
Why is this recommended to me? It's a brain thing, okay? Poor guy. Video flagged. Oh, someone's going to turn us in.
Oh, why?
We've been flagged now.
Dude, it is. I mean, you've talked about this so much on the show, obviously, but the being offensive stuff. Like, I watched a thing recently about, you know, comedians are really having a hard time going to college campuses. They don't want to do it, you know.
Most of them won't anymore.
And there was this whole thing, and they brought these 3 kids, and I forget what school they were from, but they had a little panel on, like, and they're like, well, we'll look at comedians and we'll see what their material is, and if anyone would find it offensive, and I get it, that it is their choice. You know, it's their right. It's their right to bring who they want to entertain people. But man, dude, we talk
They
about all the
judge it
time
through the lens of if anyone would find it offensive, we're not going there.
Well,
Wow.
they interviewed some student that was at one of the things, and she goes, I just feel like, you know, school is the safe space, obviously, but she goes, this is a safe space for me, and you know,
Why?
It's a few years here where, you know, I'm going to go out in the real world. I don't feel like I should have to be offended here, and it's like, I get
feel
it.
like you should have to be trained for said real world.
That's the other thing.
My God, man.
I mean,
as if one of your rights is to never be offended. It's a spectrum. That's the whole problem with the argument. I mean, we've been through it 1,000 times here.
And I so get it.
What's offensive? You say hell in front of some people, and they will, oh, my word. Oh, my word.
Sweet Pie herself will say H-E double hockey stick.
As she
and she'll
tiny
object to
girl.
my use of the word.
She's a good girl. That's why. But, you know, I mean, if you know, you either let everything go or you
they're talking. They used an example of like, you know, like an experience. Like, well, you're talking someone, a female comic even, you know, doing maybe a rape joke, and they're like, well, someone in the audience might have had a sexual assault situation, and it's like, I get that sucks, but dude, you have 500 people in the notion of a comedian tailoring, you know, every single joke that somebody in the audience might have had.
What about Roseanne and her Planet of the Apes joke?
I don't think that it doesn't
What
mean
about
that,
it, E?
doesn't mean there can't be racist shit that shouldn't be. I mean, I'm just.
What are you saying?
I
How's
think
that square? How does it square?
I think
Squarity.
that there is. I think that there is a difference.
There's a difference between working for ABC Disney and working in a comedy club.
There
Just say
you
that,
go,
E.
Mike.
Huge difference between being on your own in a comedy club where people have bought and paid to see you versus being an employee.
Do you accept that as your own view?
Sure.
Okay.
I know what you're saying, E. It drives me nuts, too, because it seems like it's very one-sided at times.
Zott Ford's famous spring fling is finally here. It was a long, cold winter, as you know, but it's time to sell lots of vehicles and get back on track. Here's a deal that even Easus can afford. It's a sign-and-drive lease on select new all-wheel drive 18 Ford Escapes for just $222 a month, zero cash due. Also, Zott will drop the price on select new 18 Ford F-150 Super Cab 4x4s, almost $13,000. It's over 30% off. See details in their massive inventory at dealsinthed.com.
Reminds me, you're doing a read for Zott Ford there, and I immediately think of Steve Gabarra, our guy, and I thought I was reading a story in the news about him today. And I was like, oh, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah, a grieved car salesman has filed a defamation suit against his former boss, claiming his ex-employer habitually used farts as ammunition.
I didn't see this.
And he pinched staffers' nips like male, you know, like Anthony Ketchum or something, and Gabar would just go up and tweak his nip and shit all
Nail
day.
nips.
Classic horseplay.
Dude, do even
Classic
gay
horseplay.
people?
It's not sexual harassment.
Definition of horseplay.
Do even gay people find male nips attractive? Like, I wonder.
They're
like,
erogenous zones, E.
Are
You
they?
ever worked on your nips? Go ahead.
I
Just
guess I
The
haven't.
rest of the show, just go ahead and work on them.
can
You
you-
tell
can you-
me if by the end of this show, if you're not turned on.
Yeah. See, can you get your tongue to your nippy?
Maybe.
God, how,
Yeah.
you kidding? You either have really manipulated, you're able to manipulate that boob up toward your. Can you tongue your nip?
E looks like he can't. E, get in there.
I guess I can. I think. Yeah, I guess I can.
Can he do that too instead of just rubbing it if he wants?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Get going, E. You got some work to do. Let's see if you get turned on by the end of the show. Using farts as ammunition, though. Boy, that's
He should be in trouble for being a dork. Like farts, dude. Like, hey, take that.
It's untoward. It's boorish.
Brett Bland claims in court that Jeremy Pratt, who we'll call Steve Gabarra, his old boss at AutoNation Acura in League City, Texas, was relentlessly crude and created a sexual, hostile environment through constant taunting, vulgar banter, frequent pinching of his male subordinates' nipples. Oh, I hated that guy. Remember that kid in school that would tweak a nipple as he walked by?
Chet used to give me titty twisters every now and then, but I never really
worst.
got them from others.
He reinforced. He says Bland also accused Pratt of Dutch ovening his employees' offices.
God.
He reinforced dominance over his subordinates by regularly entering their enclosed offices, intentionally passing gas, and then laughing as they were forced to, quote, breathe soiled air.
I love the notion of Dutch oven in quotes being used in a complaint, and
Yeah.
then like a footnote going down and explaining
What a
to
Dutch
the
oven
judge
is.
What a Dutch oven is.
What a Dutch oven is.
Does
yeah.
that qualify as a Dutch oven? I know what he's
Oh,
doing.
man, I thought you had to be under covers.
Covers,
that's
right?
the context in which I've always experienced or heard of the Dutch oven.
Yes, it's meant for a man and a woman, and you gently pull the covers over both of your heads.
Maybe someone just wanted to see if they could get Dutch, like with the Stan Berta. Someone just wanted to see if they said Dutch oven,
Yeah.
if they could get it in there.
Into a court filing.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that really applies to an office situation.
And see if they had it in
What,
there.
by
maybe this
closing
was
the
a-
door?
That's just crop dusting. Flat out
But
crop
see,
dusting.
Jay, but see, to my point though, this could have been a discussion in the court then.
Yeah.
Like, sir, by definition, a Dutch oven must be under covers.
It could be addressed in court, right? Could they not take issue with that? Like, you're misusing Dutch oven, sir. You mean crop dusting.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Fight over the semantics.
I think that's fair because Dutch oven sounds very violent. To me,
well, it's
like,
more intimate.
Well, it's very much more intimate.
The crop dust is just blowing through.
If I'm
It's
being
coming on by.
accused of this sort of behavior, and they say that Mike has been Dutch ovening all of his employees, I'd go, whoa, wait a second here.
Never been in bed with any of them.
No, I have not Dutch ovened anybody. Thank you very much. I simply crop dusted them. I'm very proud of that. It sounds less violent, less offensive, less personal, less sexual. You know, you're implying that I'm in bed with all these male employees. Not to be true. In one exceptionally, he also says that his infuriating flatulence continued for more than a year. The dealership turned a blind eye. You know, they just saw the record sales coming in, and they were like, you know, you guys are going to have to put up with some fart air. I'm sorry. Just deal with it.
Gabara's butt.
Yeah.
You know, just deal with it.
Deal with it. If you see him coming, lock your door. What are you going to do? Sorry, Anthony, your nipples are bruised. Deal with it. The numbers have never been higher.
Here's an ice pack, buddy.
But he said by them turning a blind eye, they really, you know, just more encouraged.
Oh, it just ratcheted up, didn't it?
Yeah, took it up to another level. Like, he felt invincible. He even at one point said, the Gabara character, said that he had HR wrapped around his finger. They ended up firing the guy, but they said in one exceptionally appalling scheme, Bland claimed that Pratt texted 8 to 10 co-workers in a group chat photo of Bland's face plastered with an image featuring a female child, and warned the crew that there was a sex offender lurking in the area. Keep your children safe. You are receiving this because there may be a risk of a sex offender activity in your area.
His boss is just a dick.
He's
not a civil rights violator. He's just a dick.
He's a clown.
He's an equal opportunity asshole.
He's the boss that people feel they have to laugh with.
Yeah.
And it sounds
So
like
he feeds off it, thinking, "Oh, I think I'm hilarious.
I'm the shit. Dude, this is my crew. They get what I'm all about."
Yeah.
You know, they laugh their asses off.
And he just keeps ratcheting it up.
And, you know, Brett Bland, for his part in all this, you know, Brett's not rolling with it. You know, he's not having fun. He's not laughing.
Who can blame him?
And you know what bullies do when people that are being bullied don't like it or complain about it. Instead of standing up for themselves, they take it up a notch.
More bullying.
Yeah, more bullying. And now it's sex offender thing. You can see that. Dude, I could see posting a picture of, like, E with a little girl, like, oh, sex offender on the loose. Text it to all your friends. It's a joke. And then one of them wrote back saying, yeah, I was wondering why Bland kept asking if I had any pictures of my nieces and nephews. And so this guy's taking it like they're really thinking he's a sex offender. It's like, calm down, dude. Calm down. They're just being dick faces. Relax. So, yeah, he was fired in the end. Pratt was the Gabara of the team, which surprised me, actually. His kind of behavior that he would be terminated. But
Cautionary tale there, Gabara.
Yeah.
Listen closely.
Yeah. Gabara's now thinking, God,
Stop
dude,
farting in people's offices.
God, I just had a little gas this morning. I didn't know it was going to be that big a deal. Jeez. Sorry. God, the horseplay at work. You know? I could see it already in your head, Jake. You going, can anybody just go to work and work?
Yeah, I don't.
Stop crop dusting or Dutch ovening your neighbor's office.
It's just so gross.
Pretty funny, though. Got to admit, it's kind of funny. Anyway, more fallout from Roseanne, I suppose. Dude, do you think a spin-off show would work?
Why? For who?
For like John Goodman
No,
and
fuck that. Don't.
Metcalf, Lori Metcalf.
I'm out. You talk about it. I'm out.
Are you? Yeah,
No interest.
I don't blame you, but they're John Goodman.
No comment.
That's okay. John Goodman was caught like walking his dumb dog in the street, and
He looked terrible, by the way.
yeah, he looked like shit. But he was also seen at like a car dealership, and so we were like, Mr. Goodman, what do you think? And he's like, I'm not saying shit. You know, what am I gonna add to this story? You know, it sucks, blah blah blah. And they're like, but you could have been nominated for an Emmy. And he's like, yeah, been nominated for 11 of them. I haven't won shit. I wasn't gonna win shit this time, so who cares? Who cares? I guess he did win one Emmy. There you go.
Wow. He
Yeah.
looks shitty. Good pointy.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what though? He's lost a ton of weight.
that's the problem. It's a weird thing when
So
the
everything
fat guy
looks
loses
droopy,
weight.
right?
Yeah.
So it's really, in a way, it's probably a good thing because I think like he lost a lot of weight. But the problem is when you have so much weight and you lose it,
extra skin.
That skin, they still don't really know what to do with that, do they?
No, they haven't figured that out yet, and so we're stuck kind of looking.
Nip and tuck, man.
Like, I hate to say it, he would look better if he gained about 50 pounds, probably.
Yeah, well, we've said that before. Like, who's the famous one? Sharpton. The California raisin-looking dude now, who just looked so much better as a mustachioed, medallioned, track-suited.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? He just did, and so, anyway. Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's funny, the press, by the way, like, Mike always talks about this, like I mean, they're if you look, they talk about him, and they're like, look at John Goodman out, being, clearly mad about the situation or something, and they probably just caught him in one. Like, he happened to have a kind of a scowl on his face in this moment, but it could have literally just been like the sun could have been in his eyes or something. 5 seconds later, he could have just been like, well, I'm just walking my dog, whatever.
Yep, he's got his little poop bag there on the handle, so if my dog poops on your lawn, I'll clean it up. Yeah. I mean, we talked about it yesterday. We felt bad for the cast and all that, but I guess there's talks, and Laurie Metcalf and John Goodman and Sarah Gilbert are, at least willing to discuss a spin-off. So, like, really? I mean, dude, it's the Roseanne show. I don't know how you could possibly...
I haven't watched enough to even know how big a role those three play or what.
They're great actors, but, I just don't see how that works.
Hang it up. Who cares?
Yeah. I guess they're still going to make their money for the second season, which is like $5.5 million each, so I can't feel too terrible for them, And Tom Arnold has used this as an opportunity to go out on...
Bash Roseanne.
Yeah, bash Roseanne kind of thing.
Nice.
He actually...
And Trump, too, right?
Right, which I love
what do you
how
think
this
is going to happen with a Trump supporter,
turned into a Trump thing. All of a sudden, it's like, really, no personal responsibility? She tweeted something. What does that have to do with Trump? But whatever. They love doing that. But, yeah, him coming out and saying something like, he was on Anderson Cooper, I guess, last night, and was saying something like, I tried to warn everybody, she's been doing this forever and blah, blah, blah. And he was also talking about how, they needed to take her phone from her. This doesn't happen if you take her phone from her, and somebody needed to be on guard there, and I'm like, do you even hear yourself right now? You're going to take a 58-year-old woman's cell phone because she can't be trusted to not tweet something racist to keep your show together?
Did you see Ambien tweeted out that one of the side effects from their drug is not racism?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
know
they're taking shit, dude. People are hitting them hard. Like, oh, but here are the side effects of your drug.
Yeah.
Makes you fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like rehashed all these things that.
Yeah, they should have just stayed out of it,
Dude.
man. Like, that's a funny point. They go out there and try to say that, and then people are like, okay, but...
Yeah.
And there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, we've talked at length about some of those drugs and those side effects where people have done crazy out of their head shit. Woke up 300 miles from home, didn't know how they got there. There's all kinds of stories like that. And it's like, well, maybe it won't make you an overt racist. I don't know what her excuse is, but, the idea that you could be up at 2 a.m. Drunk tweeting, essentially.
Yeah.
Or out of your mind tweeting is
there's all sorts of stories that people are relaying and reposting of articles that summarize stories where it's just that, people waking up and going, holy shit, I ordered a bunch of shit off Amazon. I thought maybe my family ordered it for me because it was shit I liked.
Yeah.
But then I looked at my account and realized I had done it. I have no recollection of it.
Yeah.
Or people eating like whole eggs, shell and all,
Yeah,
buttering their cigarettes and eating them.
Sure, why not?
I mean, it's just crazy sleepwalking type shit.
People getting up in the middle of the night, making full course meals and eating all of it.
Yeah.
And having no recollection of it.
Getting beat up, being found out half naked in the road,
Wouldn't you just stop the second you... Like, dude, the second I knew that the medication that I was taking was making me crazy, I stopped taking it immediately. And it was still 3 days later before I stopped being insane. Mm-hmm. So, with Ambien, if that's the thing, like, unless you're going to handcuff yourself to the bed, I would stop taking it, man. That's just me. But Morgan Freeman, boy, did that story kind of disappear? Like, Morgan Freeman, the CNN story of him, like, sexually harassing or intimidating like 8 women over the years. Wasn't that
Yeah, a couple more came forward, I think, with like stories, but none of them are really super horrific. And it was right at the time where Harvinger Weinstein was being arrested and charged with actual sexual assault.
Yeah.
So it kind of got put in the background a little bit.
Yeah.
And when there wasn't anything like super serious, I mean, not that it's like cool to be, using your power position to harass your coworkers, but it's not of the ilk that we've seen. So
there was no touching. There was no...
other than like trying to maybe lift dresses or something, like kind of
like flip
yeah,
it or
flip
something.
it
Not in a.
yeah.
I mean, it's hard to even walk this fine line of like, well, as far as the sexual harassment goes, it wasn't that bad.
Oh, pretty tame compared to what we've seen out of these Hollywood fucks, though.
Yeah, well, so much so that he's threatening lawsuit now against CNN and demanding a retraction, which if you weren't guilty of this stuff, boy, oh boy, that would be infuriating. 80-year-old guy like this. I wonder what kind of treatment he'll get, because let's be honest, he's a black man who's 80, who's one of the most well-respected in Hollywood. Does he get a different break or a different look, do you think, than other people maybe would have? Probably because the story's not quite as egregious as some of them.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of inclined to believe what he's saying, He went on to say...
He's saying it just never happened, or what?
Well, he's saying that it's kind of a weird story. The girl that wrote the article for CNN is one of the ones making the complaint. So to have the author of the article then go out and kind of find people who will kind of back up her story. And so these people, these other quote-unquote victims, there was 3 of them now that have come out and said, that's not what I said. I was misquoted as fuck. That's not, he never sexually harassed me. And the girl that made the initial claim, remember the one, he was doing an interview like a year ago for, and not Lori McCreary, what was her name? But anyway, she worked at CNN, and she was doing this interview, and she was pregnant. She's like 6 months pregnant at the time. And she says, he looks at me and says, I'd like to be in there. I'd like to be there. Or something along those lines. And she took that as, be in her vagine. Be
Up
in, her,
in there.
I'd like to be up in there or something.
She fucks.
Yeah. Well, the truth is, and this was on video, and this actually went to HR, third party through Warner Brothers, and was thrown out. Said, no. The facts don't bore out what this woman is saying. But basically, he was talking off set to another guy who was on his way somewhere. Another co-star of his was going somewhere. I can't remember the exact details. And he's like, wow, I'd like to be there. And she took that as, he's like, looks at this guy and then looks back at her. And she took it as, oh, my word, he's talking about my vagine. And so they're like, yeah, that's bullshit. And then the other two. So, he's come out and made a couple statements, but I am devastated. God, I wish I could do a Morgan Freeman. Andy, well, true to his word, I am devastated that 80 years of my life is at risk of being undermined in the blink of an eye by Thursday's media reports. All victims of assault and harassment, you have to say this has to be thrown into any of these. All victims of assault and harassment deserve to be heard, and we need to listen to them, Jay. But it is not right to equate horrific incidents of sex assault with misplaced compliments or humor. Let's see. I admit that I am someone who feels a need to try to make women and men feel appreciated and at ease around me. As part of that, I would often try to joke and compliment women what I thought was lighthearted in a humorous way. Clearly, I was not always coming across the way I intended, and that's why I apologized Thursday and will continue to apologize to anyone I might have upset, however unintentionally. But I also want to be clear. I did not create unsafe work environments. I did not assault women. I did not offer employment or advancement in exchange for sex. Any suggestion that I did so is completely false, Morgan Freeman, and no, I don't know what the black dots on my face are all about.
Too much time in the math room and not enough time learning the English language.
Yeah, that's a better Morgan Freeman than mine right there.
Caliendo version.
Yeah. What Morgan said there, I can totally see why someone of his position would act like that. Can't you? It's kind of like George H.W. Bush, who would, try to make people comfortable. What was his saying? Like the David Copperfield. Just try to lighten the mood. Like,
just grab a chick's ass.
Sure.
Whoa! I don't think that's the same thing, but I do think that if people aren't advancing due to this, if he's just in conversation with people, you can, like Jay said, sometimes it could be maybe a little boorish, but if it's just kind of
no, Isis, there's two kinds of sexual harassment. One is creating a sexually harassing environment, and that can be, you can add up different situations.
Intimidation.
Well, you can comments and.
But what if he's not? What if he's all at work though?
But then quid pro quo, like, hey, if you fuck me, I'll advance you. That's a whole different deal.
Right.
So the environment, hostile work environment, that can be built through just a lot of different situations.
Small
so I disagree with you, E, that it can't form the basis
no,
of it. Whether it does.
I was saying, what if he's not at work though? What if
know.
he's not even at work? What if he's just?
If it's not a workplace
yeah.
environment, then it's not a civil rights violation. It's just being a dick.
Yeah.
And if you're not sexually assaulting someone in terms of a crime, then it's,
I guess that's
a
what I was saying. 'Cause
non-issue.
I didn't remember that all of these were necessarily on sets. I thought some of them were just kind of.
They were in the offices he created
okay.
and on movie sets. I mean, they involved work.
Okay, well.
But I remember at the time reading it was like the headline was so, Morgan Freeman accused by 8 women. It's like, not Morgan Freeman. And then you read it, it was like, well, all right. I guess that's, some of that is piggish comment or something. But boy, oh boy, it doesn't seem, if it's not Morgan Freeman's name attached to this, we're not reading about this. And so him coming out strong against it. And I could totally see why a celebrity of his ilk would find the need to make random people around him feel comfortable because they're going to be in awe of the fact that Morgan Freeman, holy shit, Morgan Freeman. So
you make them feel comfortable by going,
him
commenting
saying,
on their looks or making sexual comments?
Him trying to, make people comfortable by lighthearted humor or, trying to be, hey, we're all in the same thing together, man, I know. I can see where people would behave like that at that level. Like, Jesus, I can't have all these nervous Nellies just being around me. I'm human too, man. Whether that's what was going on here, I don't know. I wasn't there, but I could see someone at his level behaving like that and going, yeah, maybe I crossed the line sometimes. It was unintentional. I didn't mean it, but, in my
I can also see someone at his level being a complete sexual harasser.
Pig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Harbinger Weinstein.
Dude, I am absolutely mesmerized by this GIF, whatever it is, on my computer screen right now of that goose at last night's Tiger game.
Oh, it's just spectacular.
Flying into the scoreboard.
Yeah.
I can't stop looking at it.
Well, we'll pull up that video in just a second then. I wanted to show you first, though, obviously Harbinger got indicted for rape on a few charges. He's facing 25 years at the strongest charge. Of course, the grand jury indictment just means they don't have to go to a judge and try to get that. And you could ask the Ham family. We know how hard it is to get an indictment when a prosecutor wants. So
you would ask the Sandwich family.
See? You know what? I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were not going to let that go.
Man, I can't believe you would go back to this.
He walked right into it again.
Did you think it would be more funny this time?
No. I think that I took the wrong stand last time, and I just don't think it's the Sandwich family. I think it's the Ham family who's part of the Sandwich team.
I have my same
you can
statement.
indict a ham sandwich.
Yes.
That's the phrase.
Yes.
Wouldn't you be more concerned
First name
about the
Ham,
sandwich?
last name Sandwich.
That's how I read that.
No,
Plus,
it's the hams that are in the trouble. It's always the ham sandwich. So it's not a turkey sandwich. It's not a PB&J.
That'd be like saying that if you got in trouble, it's the Mikes that are in trouble, not the Walters. All Mikes would be the same.
That's not.
How is it not?
Because that's like.
You could indict a Mike Walters. Oh, those Mikes, I tell you.
No, but there's not a lot of Walters like
Oh my
that would
God,
be.
what are we even talking about here?
I don't
This
know.
doesn't even work. It doesn't even make sense, man.
Well, the only reason I wanted to bring up Harbinger Weinstein, did you see that we're getting our first look at the sketches of him in the courtroom?
Oh, I didn't see that. Are they sweet? Oh no. Oh God. What?
Who do you think did that sketch?
Probably the same lady that did the Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Honestly.
It is.
Is it?
Yes.
He looks way huger than he really should.
Yeah.
I saw him the perp walk,
Yeah,
walking
yeah,
out
yeah.
in the blue sweater and all that. He's not that big.
No. I mean, this is done on purpose to make.
Fuck yeah.
This makes me think that she's not a Patriots fan, or she's got something against Tom Brady, because this is absurd. This picture. I mean, Harbinger's gut. She went out of her way to make his gut the prominent feature in this.
She is supposed to be objective, right? It's just supposed to be sketching an image because people aren't in court. You're not supposed to sit here and
trying to portray what's going. That this is just a poor portrayal. And if I'm the chick to the left,
Oh, the bald
my
woman,
God,
the balding woman.
the high foreheaded chick to the left, I
Yeah.
think it's a chick. Boy,
Thank God the
his
gentleman on the
gut.
right has the mustache, the strong mustache game he does.
look at this. Here's an image. I think this might be the image, very close to it, of what he really looked like.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, that's just
yeah, that's absurd.
you're just being a bitch now, right?
Yep.
Jane Rosenberg knows what she's doing, and
I mean, look at that difference.
But look at the woman too.
Right.
Stage left. Like, come on.
did she
Looks
do?
nothing like her?
Did she thin down the woman on the left though?
Look at her face though. Look how awful. This woman is awful at portraying human faces.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah. I
How
mean,
do you get that job? I mean,
look at those ears? Do the ears?
Chimp like. Simeon.
Yeah. Yeah. She's
She put About 200 pounds on Weinstein.
At least 200 pounds. At least. She got John Goodman him up.
I think she nailed that color blue, though. It's pretty color blue.
It is a pretty blue. It is. Anyway. Yeah, do you want to see the video of the bird at the Tiger game?
I've seen it 900 times in the corner of my eye, but yeah.
Have you seen the whole video?
No, I haven't.
Like when it's on the field and then they're like, hey, time for you to go, Goose. And when I saw this video, I was not going to do this story. I was like, nope. Seeing this bird fly into a, what is it, a scoreboard, and then fall to the stands, I was like, well, he's dead, and I wasn't interested in that, but apparently he was able to shake it off, and he's doing okay now.
Do you think he saw blue on the scoreboard and thought sky?
Maybe. I mean,
that little pea brain of his. I mean, it's right in front of you, man.
Yeah.
You want to play this or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Move it.
There he goes. But watch, at the last second, he tries to pull out.
So they're chasing
We've
him.
all been there, right, gentlemen?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to the infield, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, all right, fine. Screw you guys. I'm out of here.
Listen to the crowd.
Can't quite get that launch angle down yet. Working it.
All
Nope.
right,
Ain't
all
going
right,
anywhere.
everything's
No.
fine. I'm going to go over here and hang out for a bit.
Worked
You
all
guys
night
stop
to get
chasing.
these
All right, get
seats.
away from me, good
I
jerk.
love when they run. They're like running
little
but
feet.
flapping too.
And he's gonna
All right, I
launch.
better get out of here. These
Yep.
guys don't want me around no more. I got this. I got Jacoby tries
There
to
he
hit him with a
goes.
glove.
He goes.
All
Here he
right,
goes,
see you
here he
guys
goes. Watch
later.
the last second. Watch it the last second.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Right into the scoreboard. Down goes the goose.
Oh,
Poor
man.
thing.
Look at the feathers
I
flying around
know.
that lady. I hope she.
Lady,
That's what you
oh,
get with
shit.
Goose Down.
Thankfully.
That's what you get with Goose Down.
Goose Down's ruined America.
I told you. There
Is that
goes
just
another
an
Goose
usher
Down.
lady? Like a, wow, that's a Tiger
Be
employee
okay
lady?
now?
Or just a fan?
I think it's a
A
fan.
fan with some experience with geese.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's
She's
like,
got
"Don't
it
worry,
by
I
the
got
head.
Yeah, she knew how to carry a goose. It's interesting.
Seeing him try to lock it up, lock up the
I know,
brakes
I know.
last minute.
He gone.
Here he goes.
He's like, yeah,
Cruise
fine, gonna
control.
get out of here. No problem, no problem. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, ran into
He
the
saw
goose.
blue sky,
Goes
dude.
the goose.
Yeah, he did.
There's a
Thanks, Blue
nice,
Sky.
patch of blue there that he was about to fly right into.
Yeah.
He was like, man, this evening's turned nice. Oh no.
Ran into the
Bagel here. Put it in reverse here.
Oh, the poor thing.
This lady. It lands like 2 seats away from this lady.
Yeah, get a good picture while you can, dick face.
God, look at those seats. What's all over the damn seats, man?
I think it's raining
raining.
down there.
All right.
There's probably goose shit
okay
everywhere
now?
too. Dude, that is hilarious.
Apparently
video.
it was a Rally Goose, though, right? They put up like 5 runs that inning.
Yeah, they had hashtag Rally Goose going.
Nice.
And you know what? If we can have rally towels and rally monkeys,
Why not a Rally Goose?
yeah, I'm in favor of that. You know, we put up 5 runs, end up winning the game 6-1 in the bottom half of that inning. So,
When the Tigers go to the World Series this year, maybe they make the Goose the mascot.
can you imagine? They would too.
Yeah, totally.
If they turned things around like now and started like
It was the
some
Goose.
run, dude, it was the Rally Goose, of course. Of course it was.
He locks it up.
Dude, seeing him bag up, bag up. Oh, that had to hurt.
Bag up, bag up.
Bag up, bag up. Did you see Sesame Street lost a lawsuit against the new movie?
I saw that headline. I did not read the story. Tell me
Dude,
about it, Mike.
it's an interesting story. Because I'm kind of on the side of Sesame Street here in this one. And I'm surprised at this judge that has ruled against the makers of Sesame Street after they brought legal action against the distributor of this upcoming Melissa McCarthy movie, the Happytime Murders. It's, kind of set like Muppets, and I've got a trailer that I can play for you, where, humans are in the Muppet world, kind of like, Muppets Take Manhattan or anything like that.
Yeah.
This movie, though, is being produced by Brian Henson, I believe, who is the late Jim Henson's son. Jim Henson, creator of the Muppets and Sesame Street. And so their part of their trailer was No Sesame, All Street. And it's got these Muppets, like, doing coke and shooting people, fucking chicks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, and so she plays a cop, and this is her partner. Yeah, I'll show you the trailer.
I love singing and dancing. Hiya, folks.
Director of Muppets tonight.
So none of these are actual Muppet characters, but
No.
they're clearly of the ilk.
Yes. So they're finally ready to show you what happened. Hold on, pause this, E, because I should back that up a little bit.
Bag up, bag up.
I should tell you what they're saying here. they're saying from the producers of, Muppets Take Manhattan, blah, 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 blah. Now they want to show you what these puppets are like when kids aren't around. So kind of alluding to, when you're watching Sesame Street, you're getting this version, but when the cameras aren't rolling.
Elmo's banging chicks.
Yeah, here you go. When the kids aren't around.
50 cents, I'll suck your dick.
Ooh.
Well, it's a great price. It almost makes me wish I had a dick for you to suck.
I'll take that as a yes.
You two are the most decorated officers in this department. What do you say?
Looks like a robbery gone wrong to me.
This wasn't a robbery. This was a hit.
What the?
Someone out there is killing puppets.
Hey, handsome.
You looking for some rotten cotton? I'm a woman.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's even
Got
better.
a good
Diamond
time
and
for
silk.
you.
We're gonna catch the bastards who did these murders. Because bodies are gonna start
No
piling
Sesame.
Up.
All
You're one of
Street.
the best damn cops I've ever seen.
I'll have your badge for this. I'm in the fucking FBI.
Oh yeah, what's that stand for? Fucking big idiot?
Cop, good cop, where is your dignity? Where's your empathy? Where is your sympathy? Bad cop.
If shit gets crazy, I'm gonna go crazy as shit.
Is that just a fantasy?
God, are you all right?
I ruptured my hymen.
This pure.
I ruptured my hymen.
Do it.
I know.
They're making her do this drug.
Oh, sorry about your dead human friend, Phillips.
That is good shit.
Well, fuck me.
Maybe.
Is Phil in?
He's servicing a client.
Oh, man.
it is.
Here I go. Here I go.
He's banging this chick against the glass.
Oh, my God.
I know, right?
Well, it's puppets, though, so
Yeah.
that kind of like
She's getting the cleaning supplies out.
Wow.
That looks hilarious, actually.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of surprised that the judge wouldn't say, because they're going, this confuses people. If this confuses people on any level about Sesame Street's involvement with this movie.
Yeah, it certainly seems to market itself as related.
Yeah.
A spin-off of sorts.
Yeah. So, anyways, she's. Who else is in this? Joel McHale. I love Joel McHale. Maya Rudolph, great. Elizabeth Banks. Who's Elizabeth Banks? That doesn't matter.
yeah. I think I know, but
Did you see the body cam footage of the cop hitting the chick on the New Jersey beach?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is another one of those where they're trying to defend the guy. We got body cam footage.
What did she do to deserve getting whacked in the head like that?
She got a guy fucking A. She got a part-time cop angry, and was mouthing off. And one of these where the cops were probably in the wrong in the beginning. It sounds like they're having a family day at the beach. This chick's like 20 years old.
Got a kid, right?
She's got a kid, yeah, like an 18-month-old. And so the cops come up to her. They think they see her with a beer. She claims it's unopened. They breathalyze her, and she passes and all this stuff. But they're trying to get her name, and they're wondering where her aunt is, all kinds of stuff like this. And she's not playing ball. She's not playing ball. And so at one point, the cop's like, all right, enough. And when they lose it, and they're just, now you're being taken down to Chinatown. And so anyway, I'll play you some of the video and see what you think, because, I don't know, they claim the cops were in the right. I know other people are going to have a different opinion, but this is a few minutes into it. So
I didn't disrespect you. I didn't do anything to get written up, did I?
You're closing the scene. Now you're closing the scene. You want it? All right. I'll give you one more chance to give me your last name.
Just be cooperative. Lock me up.
Okay.
You can't lock me up. I didn't disrespect you.
Okay.
And you don't need to write my name down either because I didn't disrespect you. I didn't do anything to you. You're mad because we thought we were drinking.
All right, I'll give you one.
Put your brother left.
Okay. First of all, you're in possession. Where's your aunt at then?
She's on her way.
Okay, what's your last
You
name?
could wait here. That's like you wasted your time coming over here. You could wait here for her.
Okay, what's your last
She
name?
seems credible to me.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
it. I'm
sort
done
of.
with you. Do you have cuffs on you?
I'm done with you.
Get over
Now
here.
she's going to run.
Yo.
Don't touch me.
All right, you're about to get dropped.
Yo, don't fucking touch me.
Get over here.
What are you doing? Don't fucking touch me.
down. They've got her by the hair.
Yeah, mushing the face
down. It's hard to tell exactly how hard she's struggling. She's obviously resisting, but
yeah,
is it in a?
Here's where the problem comes in, I think, for the cop.
I would agree with you.
They're choking me.
No, you're still talking. They're not choking you. You can still breath.
You can breath.
You can breath.
I can hear you. You can breath.
Ooh, fucking dickhead.
That's it.
Now he starts punching her face. The other cop's like, oh, hold on, whoa.
Back up.
To start swinging on a chick like that on a public beach. Poor Matt. Oh, poor Matt.
I saw a version that was taken by a bystander, and it was hard to tell how much struggling was going on. I mean, obviously she's resisting. The question is did it warrant the punches to get her under control?
Yeah. Well,
hard to say. I mean,
from
what I see, probably not. But
did you see her push him in the chest at first? They claim that shut his body cam off, and so the question
what
was,
are we now watching? I mean, what?
Well, it turned itself back on, but for a couple seconds it was shut off because the cop was saying, I was kicked in the balls.
Oh.
So when she pushed him, she apparently kicked him in the balls, and that's when he took her down hard. Blah, blah, blah. And they're saying
that warrants the hard takedown, but then, like, what's warranting the, I don't know, like, you can't turn her over and cuff her, really, two of you, without punching her in the head?
And taking a few swings. And those other cops obviously were uncomfortable with it, too, because they're the ones that go, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
Dude. Now, this is where she's, you know, now she's so upset, she starts spitting on them and saying, fuck you, and blah, blah, blah. And
that would be tremendously upsetting if you weren't drinking and you're approached with these guys.
Dude.
And they're going to write you up, quote unquote, give you a ticket and everything.
But
got your kid there.
She did do the breathalyzer. If she passed, why did there need to be more after that? I don't.
She's spitting at him here, you fucking pieces of shit.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. It's hard to draw a conclusion, Mike.
Well, people get upset, and I understand that. That would be terribly frustrating if you're sitting there as a 20-year-old on the beach, and you know you've got other family that's legal age or whatever there, and there's a picnic, whatever. It doesn't even matter. But when a cop comes up and starts questioning you, you know, and they say, you know, no matter how right or wrong you feel it is, you're better off just going, you know what, my last name is Weinman. Emily Weinman was her name, is that girl's name. And so they're asking, what's your last name? What's your last name? At that point, you're better off just going, Weinman. Go ahead, give me the breathalyzer. I haven't had shit to drink. Whatever. Instead of, you know, being hard guy, tough guy, it's like, that's just not going to win. I know it doesn't look good on camera, and we could haggle all day long over where we went wrong or where we went, but there's a very easy way to make sure that never happens.
Yeah.
And it's just to kind of play along a little bit. So anyway, it's still under investigation. The three guys involved obviously will put on desk duty and all that bullshit. So. You want to see a funny video of a kangaroo?
Yes, I seen this one.
I love this guy.
Baby roos are sweet, huh?
Dude,
Little
our baby
Joeys.
Are they not the shit?
Man.
They are so cool.
This video made me conclude that just every baby animal is the shit.
Is there one out there that's not the shit? Besides humans?
As compared to their adult? No.
Snakes. Any and all snakes should be killed.
Cuter than their adult, yeah. Spiders, I'm with you, E. Yeah, kind of. They kind of suck.
Yeah,
but
spiders suck. Baby spiders.
Baby spiders doesn't matter, does it?
I'm talking mammals, I suppose.
Yeah. If you're talking mammals, I don't think so.
They're just fuzzier and
cute. They blink fun and they fall down.
They're just babies.
They're just wee. So we've got Possum and Peanut. These are two little guys. There's Possum. Hi, I'm Possum.
Little Joeys.
There's my friend Peanut. And they get picked up. There's this. How fun would this be? This family, Georgina Stetlier is the woman who filmed this. They're in Western Australia, and they adopt orphan kangaroos, her and her husband. And so this kangaroo will be with them, Possum and Peanut, for about a year. And they go into a bigger thing, and then they release them into the wild, into like an enclosure thing, so they live out a normal life. But when they're wee little guys,
they need to be cared for.
Yeah, they need to be cared for, and so they get to live with these people. And Georgina, the wife that did the filming, says she was noticing that Possum was a little gassy that evening. He was having a gassy evening. And so she starts filming Possum.
What do kangaroos eat, by the way? Speaking of gas. What the fuck?
Point.
They're just herbivores, right?
Yeah. Herbivores or herbivores? What are they?
They're eating plants.
Yeah, I think
right?
so.
They're not going to, like, munch on a
Yeah,
friggin'
but look at
chipmunk
that's
or
all
something, right?
cows eat, and look at the flatulence problem we have with the
I
ozone because of
understand.
them.
I was just asking the question.
They're herbivores.
Eat grasses, flowers, leaves,
ferns, moss, some insects.
Okay, some insects. All right.
Yeah. And so we got this video of Possum who starts to pass wind, and you can hear it if you listen close. But the funniest thing is he starts waving it like, that stinks.
Crazy.
That stinks. Get that out of there.
Yeah, he wafts it away from him.
But is he wafting it at Peanut? There's big debate over whether because if he's farting into his own paw and then throwing that like a ball of energy over at Peanut, that's inexcusable. It's hilarious. Or is he trying to save Peanut? Like, get out of the way, Peanut. This one's going to be bad.
I think he's pulling a Gabara.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Hey, he's a kid, though.
Here we go. Look at that marsupial. He pooted. Now he's wafting it.
There's another one. There's two in there. You can hear like a... And then you can hear an actual fart in there, too. I don't know why the audio is so low, E.
That was just loud. I think that was almost give me a second.
What is this?
Oh, no.
Fucking commercial again.
Dude. Why would he be wafting? That's hilarious.
I know.
You wouldn't think an animal would care. I mean, does that show that he's smart, or is he trying to itch something on his back? And the timing is just odd.
Yeah, or he just felt something come out of his butt, and so he's like, is something back there
What-
trying to
get it
get
out
in
of
my
there.
butt?
Yeah, it stinks, too. Get it out of there.
It can't be that he's trying to waft away the smell. He's a fucking kangaroo.
I know, right?
Yeah, but what is that behavior? I think it's he felt something come out of his butt. And he's
Right
like,
here.
Get away.
What?
Whatever that was, get away from my butt.
You can hear it fart there. He's got like 3 farts and Peanuts back there shaking his head like, come on, man. Come on, man. I'm standing right here. Oh, I could watch video of kangaroos farting forever. Forever. Why don't we take a quick, very fast time out, Jay?
Sure.
And then I believe it's almost time for E's history
Oh,
lesson.
I think it is. It's this day in history with Big E.
And big, surprise for you, Jay. It sounds like video is involved.
Good.
He's a
Are we going
visual
20th
learner.
century E? What are we doing?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, nice.
We are?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, video was involved, Mike. I don't think that you can.
Okay. Fair enough. Just asking.
Okay.
Be rude. All right. We'll be back in a moment.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Very, very immature Mike and Jay.
Mike, the boner video has gone up like 1,000 views since we last talked about it.
If not more. Since we last talked about it 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, the comments keep rolling in, too.
Oh, boy.
I like this one. From Justin Bentrails. I guess they don't know what a bulge looks like. For them, that must seem like a boner. But for the rest of us, he's just going commando. To be both smart and hung, no wonder they're talking shit about some kid that's much smarter and bigger than they'll ever be. It must suck to be them.
Oh, it must, yeah.
What an ass.
Now we've got tiny dicks because of it?
Look, again, I'm going to tell you, you are walking into this video knowing full well what you're about to watch.
It's
we
not
described it perfectly.
Dude, it's not one of those
title.
ones. Sometimes you see ones where it's like big fails, and it's like the picture's a hot chick in a bikini, and you never see that hot chick in the bikini.
Yeah.
This is what it says it is.
Dude, no, we're being accused of rickrolling people, essentially. And it's like, no.
Sir.
Jay was very crystal clear with what you were getting. You, sir, are the one who decided to click play on Kid Gets Boner after solving Rubik's Cube. Whether it's a world record Rubik's Cube attempt or not is irrelevant. The thing, literally, the title is Kid Gets Boner after solving Rubik's Cube. That, you can't get a more appropriately titled video for what we're watching.
It's accurate as fuck.
It's very accurate, and that means a lot to us here on staff.
I think my
at Radio for One Studios. Accuracy is critical. It's critical.
Some other dude embarrassing shit.
I think my new favorite is the one that says he must be turned on by winning or something like that.
I think he is fucking rock. So, he's attracted to winning. That's it. He's attracted to winning.
Yeah. We were not saying that he was hung or not hung, commando or not. That wasn't the point. It was just something we noticed while we were watching the video. We were just trying to look for a kick-ass Rubik's Cube video. That's all.
And I think therein, we give him full credit for being a kick-ass cuber.
Absolutely,
being a
we
nerd
do.
for sure. But that's the nature of being a cuber. You're a nerd, man.
Yeah.
But that's not a disparaging remark these days.
Would you call K-Dog a nerd?
For sure. I believe we have.
Yes.
Quite regularly called K-Dog a nerd.
Yes.
Aaron,
nerd. There's nothing wrong with being a nerd. It shouldn't be something, nerds get their payoff in time. Don't worry.
Nerds get pussy too. You saw Revenge of the Nerds, didn't you?
I sure did. Yes. And that kid will be just fine. So relax, everybody. These people that make comments on these videos, like I've tried to make a comment here or there, and you need to sign in, and it's like,
fuck it.
I'm out. I don't want to thumbs up at that video that much.
No.
I don't want to comment that much. Anyway, it's so funny. Yeah, we've obviously fallen into something. We need to figure out how to do that more often. Have our video fall into recommended video sites.
Yeah,
I agree.
Because we need more of them hitting 100,000 views. That's
preferred.
Yeah, that can't be bad for us. I noticed there are way more thumbs up to our video in discussion than there are thumbs down. But a troubling number of thumbs down nonetheless.
But think about who the people are going to comment. Again, people that like it will probably just like, yeah, this is funny. People that don't, like anything, want you to know why they thumbs down.
Yeah. Well, they're not. They're so morally grounded and perfect that God forbid we talk about something so childish.
But again, they too clicked on Kid Gets Boner after solving Rubik's Cube. So
and it was recommended to them. Why? Ask yourself that.
Kid Gets Boner ... It doesn't matter what the remainder of that sentence is.
They clicked on it. Whoa. They watched it.
Kid Gets Boner should have you arrested for clicking on
that.
that.
You're in this right along with us, okay?
Yeah. You don't get a free pass to go, immature. Well, why is it being recommended to you? Who shared it with you, and why did you click yes to playing it? Doesn't make any sense.
You can't resist.
Can't resist that title. Neither could I, but I'm at least man enough to admit it.
Gentlemen.
Yes.
I'm the best friend, Doug, and then we're gonna give him a best friend hug. Doug, oh, Doug, Doug.
Now's the time. Contact Realtor Doug Steinert. Spring's the perfect time to list your current home and to go looking for your dream home. Winter's over and real estate is, of course, moving. God, it's beautiful out there. Isn't it? It's the time. Now's the time, man.
It
the
is.
Curbside appeal.
Dude,
it's never been better.
Except I got fucking Juan's damn cotton.
The cottonwood.
Cottonwood.
The cottonwood is flying. I was going to bring that up, man. I opened my car door and probably 50 of those. Dude, they're yours too. Don't blame Juan.
I'm blaming Juan.
Why?
I think if it's a Juan issue.
You've got them all along your driveway. They're dirty, messy trees. They're ugly trees.
Where are they? Point one out to me. I want to take that fucker down now.
No, I mean, I can't They're that way.
Really?
Yeah.
They're mine, though?
Yeah. They're all over this joint.
Shit.
Goddamn
I've been
cottonwoods.
blaming Juan for 3 years.
The point is, you should contact Doug today, 248-765-1781. He and the team at Century 21 Campbell will work to get the absolute best deal on the sale and or purchase of your home. Doug's the man. He's easy to work with and a great friend of the show. Call Douglas today, 248-765-1781.
Should we get to Easus?
Yes. This day in history with Big E.
Easus, are you ready?
Sure.
I'm ready to get my learn on.
It's kind of a weird one, I will admit. This is not something that most people would even know about. But it was on this day in 1949 that Charlie Lupica began his stay on a 4-foot square platform on a 60-inch pole. Or no, about 4-foot-inch platform on a pole above...
4-foot-inch...
4 by 4, 4-foot by 4-foot platform on a pole about 15 feet high, but it was 60 feet because it was on the top of his grocery building that he lived in, and it was all... He was going to stay on this pole until the Cleveland Indians won the pennant, is the deal.
Wow.
So, here's a...
Feather, not dot.
Here's an image of him.
Dude, that's a bigger platform than I pictured.
That's bigger
honestly.
than 4 foot by 4 foot.
That's
a
what
whole
they say,
bedroom.
though, a 4-foot square platform.
Yeah, that son of a bitch can lay down. He's got a bed up there.
He does have a bed up there.
I'll get into some of the amenities that he gets when he's up here, but this is why it started. He was in the bar, and there were some Yankee fans in there. The Cleveland Indians had won the title the year before, but they were doing pretty shitty. They were like 7 games down, and there's a bunch of Yankee fans babbling on, and Charlie's like, "You guys like the Yankees so much, why don't you move to New York?" And listen to what their response apparently was, "Well, if you like the Indians so much, why don't you go sit on top of a pole?"
Wow, that's not a bad comeback.
It's like, shove it up your ass, right?
Yeah.
But I
he
don't.
took them literally, though.
Well,
He
he's-
climbed up a 60-foot pole and sat on a platform.
Oh, actually, it says, sorry, sit on a pole and die up there. I apologize. They had to die even.
Wow.
But, so
that
he
escalated quickly, didn't it?
Changed everything.
So he was like, you know what? Fuck yes. And he owned this grocery store, which, by the way, the only reason his biggest fame in the city was he owned a grocery store that was open past 6, so people could actually go and get everything else in the city was like
Great move.
closed at dark, and he would open up.
See, this guy's an
past
out-of-the-box
6.
thinker. I like this guy. What's his name, Chuck?
Charlie Lupica.
Mr. Lupica, he needs better signage for his storefront, though. Hold on,
Okay.
I mean, he's advertising Eagle stamps, booth snapshots and albums at no extra cost.
I see grocery. I see the word grocery nowhere.
Nowhere. I mean, he should at
Nowhere.
least be advertising like a beer special or a Lucky Strike special going on. But no, I mean, there's all this landscape space for
Well, there's
signage,
stuff in that
too.
window stuff that
You know
I
what,
don't
man?
see.
I'm questioning the height of that pole, too. 60 feet?
They say, well, I think they say, including the building, is supposed to be.
So he's from ground to top of his platform.
Wait, do you buy that? I don't know. I guess we have to accept it. The perspective of the picture is a little.
Yeah, here's just another kind of zoomed in picture of him.
Dude,
up
that is
there.
way bigger than 4 foot by 4 foot. It just is.
It flat out is.
Well, here's
so how do you explain that, E?
Well, here's the thing too. In the end, the publicity starts growing for this. He goes up May 31st. He ends up lasting until September 25th, which was like the last Cleveland home game. They do not win the pennant, but so he goes up there a long time. He ends up setting a record. Apparently, there was a world record before this of being on the pole for 71 days. Someone had sat on top of a pole for 71 days, and he surpasses it and ends up going 117 days. But people it gets popular. So people start giving him a bathroom up there. They start sending up, his wife is sending up food to him. And then he gets a TV and radio.
So he's claimed not to have come down for any
He doesn't
sort
come
of
down
roster.
well, not only does he not come down
during
for
117 days.
Bullshit. He doesn't shower for 117 days.
They say there's spies. There was spies, like kids would watch him and shit to make sure. He actually, to the point that he missed the birth of his 4th child.
Oh my God.
His child is born, and it says that's the
not coming out.
He says that was the closest he thought about doing it, and he decided not to. Now, the owner of the Indians did start to like this promotion, so he gives him a lot of help, and actually, there is some lining to it that the owner of the Indians ends up paying for the medical expenses of the hospital for the child being born, so I guess that is something.
Okay.
And then the next day, a local cameraman, goes and films his child, like his baby, or whenever the baby is brought back home, and Charlie watches it on the TV. So that's his first view of his poor child. Who cares? He's been there, done that.
Kid.
God. What an asshole. So he's up there shitting in a bedpan and stuff?
I guess.
Bucket, and then what? Just like chucking it down to the guys on the ground. Heads up, incoming.
Yeah, he's got some major help on the ground.
It says that
Here comes Charlie's shit.
Dude, I mean, even if he had a pulley system where he had a bucket.
Still,
and then
it's a bucket full of Charlie's shit.
Yeah, and Charlie does not look like the guy whose shit I want to be handling.
No.
Of all human
Hardy.
shit. Yeah, he's a hardy fella, exactly.
So
I imagine he takes really big, stinky dumps, and I don't want anything to do with it.
So yeah, you're right. They provide him this food and stuff. He sits up there for these 117 days. But then the Indians are eventually mathematically out. They realize that it can't happen. So as a gimmick, the owner of the Cleveland Indians.
Oh, now you're going to tell us the gimmick? Okay.
No, but even more so, the owner of the Indians really jumped on board with this. People thought he was like a hero. Like it was literally
like he was going to cause the Indians.
There was a story in Life magazine about, or what was it? I don't know if it was Life, but there was like a story. A national magazine came in and did a piece on him and took pictures. And so for the last home game of the year, they take the pole down, like with a cherry picker or something, while he's in it, bring it to the stadium. And that's when he gets down for the first time.
This now.
So he's still sitting on that platform, and they take him into. Oh, and that's what you're going to show us. Okay.
Is there audio with this?
Transported on a flatbed
there is.
or what?
Michael, you'll probably like the audio, Mike, because it's like one of those reels. Like,
isn't that Charlie? Charlie finally making his way down the pole. Sorry, ladies, he's spoken for.
The cavalcade of sports is on the air.
Why this went
there he
sorry,
is.
this went to something else.
Oh, Jesus.
One second. I don't know why.
I was getting into the announcer. Wow, back in 1944.
I don't know why it went back like that.
There he is, folks, in the Spruce Goose.
Up on this flagpole over his delicatessen.
There they are.
So now the ball club
Over his
moves Charlie
delicatessen.
pole
So
and
now-
all to the Cleveland Stadium so he can see
Look
the
at this
final home
bullshit.
game.
So he can
got
see the
out on
final
this
ball
way
game.
back in May on a bet to stay aloft
No one's
until
trimmed the
his team,
trees.
last
He's having
year's
to
world
duck
champions,
trees.
Dude, he's
was in
like 2
first
feet away
place.
from power lines.
An awful lot's happened since May, including the birth of Charlie's fourth child.
Yes,
while
eh?
not including the advance of the Indians to first place.
33,000 people watched this
So as
last game
Charlie
because of
looks
him
on,
coming
the
in.
Indians
Not very many in the
bury
stands, you
World
see.
No.
Championship pennants, which this year cannot be theirs.
They'd won the pennant the
Well.
last year, so they buried it.
Chuck certainly did his part.
The chief mourner
Yeah, he
is
did.
the Indians' owner, Bill Veck. For Charlie has some compensation, a new flagpole sitting record. But after
A new flagpole sitting
days of
record,
sitting,
yes.
Here he comes.
he's forgotten how to walk.
Oh, what an
Oh,
asshole.
he
That's
missed.
all right, Charlie. Wait till next year.
There you go,
And
Charlie.
they don't say it in there, but they gave him a car and some shit. And it is, they say too, also, he loved talking about this. Apparently, like he
Yeah, I would think
loved
Charlie would.
anybody
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Anybody that would talk about it, anyone that would let him talk about it, he would listen. He actually wrote a book. Him and two writers helped him. In '97, he wrote a book about this story of Charlie Lupica, the Cleveland Indians flagpole sitter or whatever.
God.
Apparently
Is this just an extreme case of escapism, like a man cave?
Dude, I was
and that's
wondering
where
that
I was
myself.
gonna-
That this pregnant wife, he's like,
just
fuck.
nagging him. He's got 3 other kids at home. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll sit up here. I'll be a hero. I'll get a TV. I'll get a radio.
Yeah.
People take my shit out in a bucket.
Exactly.
Even if I don't, it's better than listening to old thick ankles inside bitching at
Right.
me all night
He is
long.
getting a shave.
Getting
up
a shave? This is bullshit, this
Dude.
guy.
Dude, that's what I.
This
Dude,
is
honestly,
this
that was my
pole,
thought.
This pole sitting Cleveland Indians bit. We're all seeing right through it.
Yeah.
This is
37 years old? He's 37.
Yeah.
He's like fucking 57, doesn't he?
Yes.
Those old-time people? Like,
yeah. See,
Look at this. Is
here he is, young buck Charlie.
That's
coming
when
in
they're-
at 22 years old.
That's when
See?
they're trying to take the pole down so they can transport. But he didn't leave the pole. Like he wouldn't leave
Look at
until
him.
it was.
Charlie Lupica holds on for dear life as workers lift him, pole and all, from atop the one-story building where he spent 116 days waiting for the Cleveland Indians to reach first place.
he's not leaving his post, man.
He had a gay old time up there. That we know for sure.
Where do they get off claiming that's 4 foot by 4 foot? I keep coming back to that.
Yeah.
That's a good 8 by 8. I don't know.
I mean, unless we don't know. I mean, it's always perspective based. I mean, did you mention is Charlie Lupica a fidget? I mean, is he just a wisp of a man? How hilarious would it be if it turned out that he was like
does
1
look kind
foot
of
8?
small if you look at him, but I don't know. It doesn't say.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in there that states specifically that he wasn't a large man.
He's not a
but,
miniature version.
But
Yeah.
Jay, that is the thing. When I read that, I was like, you start to read that he has TV up there,
Yeah, that son of a
radio up
bitch.
there. He just fucking wanted
not going to work.
Right.
His wife's at home
and
pregnant.
now he's becoming a celebrity.
Yeah.
And he's avoiding the hospital. The whole family coming to town to see the new baby.
Fucking genius.
Yeah, I wish I could. I'm just stuck on my pole up here,
helping out the Indians.
And right below his ass is he doesn't have to take care of shit. Everything's got to be thrown up to him. I mean, he's got a whole store full of like meats and beers.
Everybody's on Team Charlie.
Hell yes.
For 117
and
days.
like I mean, honestly though, it just shows you what things going on back then. Of course, like how much was entertainment we had, but it was literally considered like it was. You read art, and they talk about him being like a hero. Like
but you see the evolution of where we are now. It's that shit going on back in the 40s.
Yeah.
My God,
trying to be a star, trying to be famous, but. Yeah.
Going viral.
37? No fucking way, dude. I think it's more likely he's on a 4 foot by 4 foot platform up there than 37 years old.
Isn't that incredible?
How is he? He's dead now, obviously.
He
right?
died. But when he died, it was such a big. It was.
He's writing books in '97.
Well, it was such a fable. I think he died in 2002 or something. 2002 or 3, but it was so well known that his obit was printed in the New York Times. And if you look up his name, that's one of the things that shows up. In the New York Times, they did a fucking obit and a little story on him.
I saw a movie recently where this was referenced, not like him specifically, but maybe it was like Sandlot or something. I don't know, where something was going on with the town grocery store and there was a guy sitting on a pole.
Oh, really?
Pole sitting must have been a thing, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Because there was a record before this that he beat.
Yeah.
God, that'd be a boring time to be around. Fuck. And you look so old when you're like 20. How does that happen?
See?
Yeah, see? It's the
Yeah, dude, that's a great point, dude. Honestly, look at this.
Honestly,
really look at it
without
again.
his age sitting there, what would you guess?
I would have said
54. Yeah.
Honestly, I would have said, if they said 60, I'd go, yeah, sure. Of course he's 60.
No, he's 37.
37.
Father
wow.
of 4.
Wow. Sorry, ladies, he's spoken for. Look at that. It's 90 degrees. He's getting a nice shave.
Yeah, they did say the temperatures got up to 100.
There's his little radio.
What a hero. What a hero.
and they didn't even win. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah, he should still be up there until they win. Anyway, is that it, E?
That's what I got.
Well done, E.
Very good, very good. It's nice to see you get out of the battlefields.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Yeah. Anyway, should we get to some email, Jay? Do we have some email
Sure,
that's piled up?
we do have some email piling up. Before we get to that,
for the love
we
of
received
fuck.
post. The Alamo. You ever been to the Alamo?
I haven't.
I know. I've been meaning to go.
Not since Ozzy got banned.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he's pissing on the door or something.
Yeah, drunk pissing on it.
TDC Heroes. This is from Ryan. Hello from the Alamo. Do you know what the word Alamo means in English?
Alamo.
It means cottonwood tree. Who knew?
Really?
We're just talking about the cottonwood.
We sure were.
I'll be
Goddamn, Juan's
damned.
trees, man.
The Alamo in Texas. Yeah, absolutely. That's one we should go to at some point.
Yeah,
I would
you think so?
As an American.
Yeah.
I've heard there's like a mall right next door.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where
Have
I think
you been
it's,
there, E?
No, but it's one of those ones that you hear when they
You
say
always
like
see the real tight shot of it.
Yeah.
And then you go there and it's like, oh fuck.
Oh,
there's-
Burger King, nice, and an Arby's,
Heard
great.
that about the Great Pyramids as well.
Oh, the Sphinx. The Sphinx is the one.
It's like a McDonald's
where
in
it's
the
like,
foreground.
yeah, from the McDonald's, people are taking. It just looks so odd. Not
That's
a place.
brutal.
Because they're obviously ashamed of it. Because you don't see that picture of those pyramids or the Sphinx or anything. Am I saying that right? The Sphinx. Boy, that sounded wrong in my head.
The Sphinx.
But you don't see it with like
The Sphinx.
half an Arby's sign in the background. You know what I mean?
Typically. Not typically.
They'd rather just get a tight shot of that mashed up face on the
Tighten it up.
Sphinx. You know, keep all that other shit out of
It's
the way.
kind of an ugly monument, don't you think?
Jay said that, not
what?
me.
What? The Sphinx? I don't know.
What is he, a lion?
Yeah,
He's-
half lion, half pharaoh.
Something, yeah.
Maybe if he didn't have that crushed, maybe if the face was still there, I'd be
Yeah.
more impressed. But
Looks like Iron Man smashed him in the face or something.
I like my monuments that aren't smashed up.
In the face. I wonder what the original nose looked like.
Right.
You know, if it was like Beaker or something.
Yeah.
If it was
Or
some,
just a little button. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I don't.
Hey, if
saw
you want to
that
write in
wordplay,
the
I
show,
got that.
If you want to write in the show, send us your thoughts to email at DetroitCast.com. And I will say, Mike, my s'mores prediction, it's not only am I over 60-40, I got to say it's like more 80 to 90%
Yeah.
people just going, yeah, s'mores are overrated. They suck.
I thought about this a lot after you left yesterday. I spent a tremendous amount of time because I initially started to fight you. You know, it's just my
As
natural.
is your nature.
My nature. It's like, no, you're wrong. It's a
Resist.
delicious whatever. And then I was like, you know what? He is so fucking right.
Yeah, my only
S'mores-
point is
he
they're-
didn't
it's
say
just
they're
overrated.
poison. They're
Right.
just overrated as
They
far
really
as
are.
treats go.
Yeah.
And
Offer a kid a third s'more. Most kids will take a second, and they'll eat probably half
of it.
Try to get a kid to eat 3 s'mores. They won't do it.
No.
You offer them 3 pieces of cake, boom, it's down. 3 brownies, down. 3 pieces of Turkish Delight, gone.
Yeah.
You know?
Turkish Delight.
3 Bit-O honeys, gone.
Yeah.
You know, 3 friggin' s'mores, no way.
Can't do it.
It's just too. It's too gritty.
It's too much. It's too gooey.
It's just not delicious enough.
Yeah.
They all deconstruct them. They start going, can I have more chocolate? Can I have another marshmallow? Bottom line.
Yeah. You ever eat them without cooking the marshmallow or the chocolate? I think I was in a rush once to do that, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm going graham cracker, Hershey's, marshmallow, graham cracker.
So you've eaten s'mores without a campfire?
Without a flame, yeah. I'm not proud of this. I was in a rush to get one. I think I ate a dry s'more. It's not as great as you
I've
think.
never done that. But I will say, I think the marshmallow, the uncooked raw marshmallow is my favorite form.
Really?
It is. If I have to pick a form of marshmallow, it's the uncooked raw.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I kind of like a charred. If you
That's
just
the only way I'll eat a marshmallow is if it's charred.
Yeah, coming off that stick
Yeah.
or the wire hanger.
I don't even like marshmallows,
campfire.
but if I do, it has to be charred.
I do kind of like those ones that were colored, those small ones that you could put in hot cocoa as a kid, as a child.
Haven't thought about those for years.
Yeah, they kind of disintegrate. You got to get them quick, otherwise you get that last. You suck up like 60 of them at once. You know that move?
Yeah.
It's a fun move, though. You got to admit.
The Beeve writes in, gentlemen and Big E, I can't tell you how much I've been enjoying the show of late. Especially yesterday's interview with Charlie LaDuff. Keep up the good work. You might just be on. You just might make something out of this, says Steve.
Thanks, Beeve.
Contrary to that, Brad writes in, Mike's LaDuff interview was exhausting. I haven't used the fast forward button this much since the Rude Jude interview and the time that Mike and Biggie talked about EDM for half an hour to open the show. After Joel's best of about TDC receiving the fake key to Houghton, it got me wondering, how much would you charge to ride in the back seat on a drive from Franklin to Houghton with LaDuff driving and Rude Jude sitting shotgun? That'd be a motley crew.
That would be a motley crew.
Before quoting a number, keep in mind that you'll be driving home via Chicago. I can't believe Kadog convinced him to go via Chicago.
I know. Do people know that story?
Yeah,
Have we
it was
talked
in the
about that?
best of recently.
It was where Kadog, convinced E that it was
Well, he never
no big deal.
convinced me. I just didn't
He sort of
care.
did because he
No,
tried
no,
to
no.
tell us like it's basically the same.
I just
distance.
didn't care.
It was
He
a
could-
brilliant move by Kadog.
Yeah.
Absolutely
I agree with
brilliant.
that,
But I don't want him to think he boondoggled us, like he pulled wool on us or something. Like he maybe on E.
No, he did not. I never. The whole time I was like, dude, I just didn't care. I didn't have anything to do. It was all day. It didn't matter. But I never was like, yeah, dude, because me and him got in several fights over the idea that going through Chicago didn't take much longer. And he's like, well, no, we went on the outskirts. We went on the outskirts of Chicago. We're going. It's Friday at rush hour in Chicago.
Pull up a map and look at where Houghton is versus Chicago and Franklin.
I mean, if you do the triangle,
it's a fucking triangle, man.
It's probably added an hour and a half
at least. At least. And he was arguing mileage and all this, but dude, you're driving through Chicago.
I think
where would you have been? Like, dude, so you're doing rush hour around Bad Axe instead of downtown Chicago at that hour. You know what I mean? Like, you probably added 4 hours to
His
this trip.
argument was, if you watch this, like, there's this.
Absurd.
I think there's the inner kind of loop of Chicago, and then there is technically, like, what do you call that?
Yeah, if you go further outside of Chicago, I mean, you're going
Dude,
more
you
west.
end up 80, 90, anywhere near Chicago, anywhere near rush hour, you're fucked.
No, instead
You're
of doing
done.
this one right here, we did this one, I think, or you know what I mean?
So
Or,
you went
like-
80 miles west.
right. That's the
to
other
do
thing.
that.
You'd have to go out of your way, and there was still traffic.
And he tried to sell you on Lambeau, right? The drive-through Lambeau.
Lambeau Field.
No, I kind of just said, hey, if we're gonna go through Green Bay, I wouldn't mind doing it. And it turned out that the tour was like they had just left, so we would have had to wait another 40 minutes. But
Dude, even if you guys are going through Evanston, zoom in again.
Okay.
Like if you guys are just going through Evanston,
it is absurd.
It's absurd. But no, you guys are in Naperville and fucking Wheaton and Schaumburg. You guys are 80, 90 miles west of that.
Like you said, if you look up here, his point was as well. Technically, you just go straight down over here, then over here.
Dude,
just
you
like
could have said take the ferry from Milwaukee, and I would have been more on board than driving through Chicago at rush hour.
I didn't care, but it was an absurd argument.
Did you guys go by way of Green Bay and Milwaukee or Green Bay, Oshkosh, Milwaukee?
I don't know, dude. We went through Green Bay. I know that.
Okay. Mark writes in, Jay, love the show. Couldn't come close to doing what you boys do successfully 5 days a week.
That's right, you couldn't.
I'd be terrified to be exposed as a dull, unintelligent person with opinions that don't mean squat.
Oh, you mean like me?
But in the spirit of things that are overrated, I'd like to provide you with 3 things that the Detroit Cast apparently likes that are vastly overrated. 1, the jack-off guy from San Fran. I don't doubt the whole campaign was a huge success. The whole campaign.
Yeah.
What campaign is that?
But Jesus Christ, I was happy when that wad faded into the background. I admit I enjoyed uncovering the mystery behind the drops, but cringed for a couple months leading up to his visit. I live about 2 miles away from Hamlin Pub, and never once considered going there to meet the masturbator of ceremony.
Yeah.
Guess I'm just too close-minded out here in the sticks. Number 2, Mike Massey. Again, happy for your success bringing him to town. I know what I like when I hear it. His voice falls upon deaf ears, however, when it comes to me. If I walked into a lounge and he was performing, I might stick around. I'm not too picky about live cocktail music. He's not offensive, but I sure as fuck ain't buying a CD on the way out. Sheesh. 3rd, and I kind of feel bad about this, because I met this dashing debutante once before. But Big E, I'm over it. He brings a certain flavor to the dish that I wish wasn't there, but I still enjoy the dish overall. He's like the dried basil twigs in my pad gras pow. Pad gras pow?
Sure.
Thai
Chinese
basil beef.
Thai, yeah.
I'm not saying he is overrated. I'm saying his value to the show is. Then again, I've never had my cherished beef and basil without the basil.
Well, I would say
it's a well-reasoned email, Mark.
It is.
A lot of thought put into that.
To be honest with you, Big E took me by surprise. I thought he was going to go with Charlie LaDuff because he was in this week.
I'm not saying he is overrated. I'm saying his value to the show is. Oh, I don't think we overrate his value to the show.
No,
I think he is overrated. I think Mark's exactly wrong there.
Yeah, I think if you were to try to if you've met someone who's never listened to the show and you've got 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and it's like, well, sell me on it. Big E's going to come up way more than you planned. Let me just say that. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Big E's name is going to dominate what you use to sell this show. Try it.
I would agree with that.
Try it because if you're trying to explain in just a couple quick minutes, like
doesn't make a lot of sense otherwise.
This Jay guy's really funny. Like they were doing the story about Axe, Michael Brown, and his points were really strong. You should check it out.
Yeah.
Or you can go, yeah, dude, they sent this fucking kid to a men's jack-off club, and hearing how awkward it was.
Close check.
You know, I mean, it's just Big E is going to be a dominant part of the description. So
it's true.
I don't know if overrated is quite.
Overrated.
I think you would be better off saying I'm more overrated or you're more overrated than Big E.
Jesus, don't you dare go into a stew. We've got 5 minutes left.
Stu, Mike just gave me a good compliment from what I can tell.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like Jay's about to bring you down to earth.
Oh.
No, I'm not. Scott writes in, concerning Africa. Hello, Jay. Utica High School in Utica, Michigan has selected as their senior class song none other than Africa by Toto. This is not a joke. My wife works there. So your wife's about to get her summers off, which is nice.
Yeah, very nice. It's probably off already.
Dude, Africa has had a huge resurgence the last few years. It's sort of like this tongue-in-cheek, drunk sing-along song.
Totally.
Kind of like the Sweet Caroline or Country Road. It's getting into that sort of range, wouldn't you agree?
It's funny you say that because I was thinking that yesterday. Like, there's something almost tongue-in-cheek, like, this song is so bad that I'm going to cover it and act like this is normal.
Yes.
Because, you know, Massey's version is great, but why is it funny that Weezer's covering this song? Like, why is that front page news? Because it's a kind of
a reach back to a douchey. Yeah, exactly.
Era.
It is douchey, but it's so goddamn it worms into your brain. You can't get it out. It is catchy as fuck.
Rosanna is too. I'm sorry.
Rosanna. Not as much as Africa though.
Yeah, that swing shuffle drum part on Rosanna to open that song though, I could just fucking
shuffle drum part.
Dude, it's just this and I'm just like, yeah.
That's not what I think of when
to see your eyes, Roseanne. He looks like such a fucking creeper too in that
I know.
video.
Yeah.
You seen the Vivo the Rosanna video, and he's like, all I want to do when I wake up in the morning is see your eyes, Rosanna, Rosanna. And she's like walking by, and it's like, dude, stop following her around. You're creeping her out. You're creeping me out, dude. And the mustache isn't helping.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. Nate writes in, Biggie's hair. Judicially thinking, recently shrinking, and grossly stinking. The topic of what Biggie should do with his hair came up on episode 1050, and I thought I would weigh in with my 2 cents. Personally, I couldn't care less about maintaining a hairstyle. This has led me to go with a J-esque 0 on top, 0 on the sides, and 0 to blend approach to my own hair.
Oof.
I go 5 on top, 2 on the sides, 3 to blend.
Yeah.
Someone like Big E, whose hairstyle is a part of his comedic persona, needs to go with a more striking look. I suggest that he go with the Will Forte from Last Man on Earth look when he shaved half his head and beard and left the other half long and unkempt. It's
that
really
would be
the best
hilarious.
of both worlds, half greasy plumed, normcore hipster, and half the shaved head badass look that he pulled off for about a week. Anybody who hasn't seen this ought to bing Will Forte, Last Man on Earth hairstyle. It's amazing that he kept that for several weeks, if not months, while they were filming the series of episodes.
He had to grow this beard. That must have taken a year.
It's insane, the contrast.
Yeah.
No eyebrow. He's completely bald on one side of his head. Half a mustache, half a beard, and the other half is, as you say, at least a year-long beard.
And Jesus hair.
That would be so uncomfortable. Watching those episodes, it made me cringe. I wanted to just shave it all.
Well, how anybody keeps a straight face. You know what I mean?
Like a Tandy.
Could you imagine? They changed the lead fucking character's name halfway through the first season. It's
Went
just
from Phil to Tandy.
Tandy. So anyway, imagine if E did that to himself. There are times when we have conversations with the idea that we could have a normal conversation with him, like, fuck you, dude, fuck you.
You'd just be sitting there.
And you're facing that. Dude, you wouldn't help but be able to just laugh at him. It's so awesome.
Jesus, what are we doing with the plumage?
I don't know yet.
I love what's going on. I say you keep it just all one length. It's
you know what the problem is, honestly?
He's getting gray as hell, too.
You know what I like,
that
too,
doesn't bother
is
me,
when he's
but-
wearing the cans, it kind of looks like one of those, I don't know, hair or whatever. Can't think of the word. Chicks used to wear them in the 70s
Oh,
or 80s.
the headband
yeah,
things?
it's like
those,
a headband.
Like that plastic thing that you
Yes,
slide up over your...
yes.
Yeah. Gives you the poof up front.
Yep.
Yeah.
The only problem is it's summer now, and
Leave it easy.
But it's so heavy.
badass.
It's so heavy, and it's
I'm with
hot
Jay,
when
man. I think it's kind of dope, too, because it's...
I get it.
It's messy in a new way.
I don't know what I'm gonna do because I don't want to cut it. But on the same hand, it does bug me. When I was at Movement last weekend and you're sweating and it's just fucking
Yeah, you're going
big.
to have to get used to that. It's the price you pay for looking like a badass. Because here's the thing. If you shave it again into that mohawk plumage thing, it just looks juvenile.
Yeah,
don't
you
care
look
about
young
that.
and immature.
I don't know.
It's time for you to grow up.
No.
I mean,
I
what
still
if you
want-
straightened this whole thing? I know you straightened the plume before. What if you just
I
took
don't
a
know what would
straightener to
happen.
all of this?
That would be weird, probably.
To all of this. This whole thing.
Just straighten the whole
Could
thing.
you
The
imagine?
dying of the hair is coming still at some point,
look like-
too. That's
He looked like a
Hansel.
beetle.
You look like the Dutch boy.
I don't even have my. I'd have to get a new. I don't even know if I have my straightener anymore.
Yeah, we could get one for you.
I know.
Borrow one.
I could see. I don't know yet. We'll see.
All right.
Hey, we'll save the rest for next week.
Sounds good. Anything exciting going on this weekend? I can't think of anything.
The little tiny girl
Tiny girl.
has a recital.
What? She's
She's gonna
does?
be dancey. She's gonna do jazz, acro, and hip hop.
She gonna do jazz hands?
I hope so. My God, I hope so.
Have you seen
Paid
her
a lot
in
of money
dress
for this.
rehearsal?
No.
No. So this is all gonna be like.
I have seen her outfits on a hanger.
Yeah.
They're very expensive. I know that.
Don't they just make them?
Dude,
I know.
I'm not going to get into it. It's total.
Dude, the
It's
cost of
I'll
having
just say it.
kids.
It's a fucking racket.
Of course it is.
Dance is a racket. Dance itself.
Of course it
fucking
is.
racket.
Why those couldn't be passed down between generations of people and you need new ones every year?
Not just every year. It's every friggin' recital. She's not on the competition team, but kids who compete, they might do like 3-4 dances and they get new shit every time, which is probably about $100 on average for every outfit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Dude.
Anyway,
a
do
lot.
anything for that tiny girl.
Yeah.
Tiny girl!
Good luck, tiny girl. She's got to be so excited.
Oh my God, she can't wait to get up there.
Make sure you take some pictures.
I will.
Or some video. All right, well, we'll call it there then. Hope everybody enjoyed the shows this week. We'll be back next week with all new ones. When hopefully you'll join us for those.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.